Sup dudes, I'm 370 and I'm looking at the simplified design of what on earth I did here. Now, this simplified design is actually pretty simple. It's a block swapper. So I press this button and they swap. Now, there is a simple fact to this that you might notice. That repeater has more delay than that repeater. And there is a reason behind it. You saw that one extended and retracted really quickly. Then this guy was able to extend and retract. Now, the reason this exists is because let's put this back on 1 tick. Yeah, I can do that fine. That guy will block that guy from extending. And I'm just going to take this whole thing. I'm going to orient it. I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to orient it face so that it's oriented 90 degrees. I'm going to rotate it. See what that does. We're going to see what that does, and it's going to demonstrate what's actually happening here. So the idea, I'm actually going to do a tutorial, going to call this a tutorial for building the thing. So you want to put blocks here, redstone dust on top. You want to get a torch directly above this redstone dust with a piston coming off of here. That's going to extend the blocks up so they're flush with the floor. As you can actually see, imagine this is the floor level. It will work, except for this. I'm going to have these monostables don't quite work, but I think this can be fixed with like lowering this a little bit. Like I think this can be raised up a little bit too and still work. I'm not entirely sure how it does. I just know that it does. Actually, let's actually try and determine how it does that. So it's like if you do this and then you put that there, and yes, that has to be an upwards facing sticky piston. It's extended. And actually, this right here needs to be a block that's slightly up for this slightly altered design that I know in my head is going to work. Now on here, as you can see, there is a button on the other side of this. So when this gets pressed, that de-extends. Then on either side of this, you want repeaters, which I believe need 2 tick delays. Which need 2 tick delays. Then over here, we need these, which have redstone dust on top of them. I guess they can be normal blocks in these spaces too. I guess it would still work without that having to be redstone dust. Anyway, both of these can be repeaters, and through experimentation, we can tell which one needs to be the 2 ticks because there is a bias towards one of these sides. As you can see, that side extends first, which means there is a bias for the block that's farther north by the looks of things. I just took a screenshot. It would be great to reorient this in all 4 directions. Now, naturally, we put blocks on top of the ear because these are monostables, and those can go like that with redstone dust as the output, redstone dust on top of these, and pistons here, which our blocks go on. So now, this has created an interesting thing. Neither of them are extending. This is actually quite interesting. Might this be better with a wooden button as input? Might be, actually. See, increase the delay on here, maybe? Now this is strange, what's happening here. These pistons just can't extend for some reason. It could extend just fine over here, but with redstone dust, this could be a bug that's happening here. Maybe if we do this instead, this should fix whatever issue's causing this. Because it... See, this is, as I expected, a negative bias. If you check here, the way we're facing, it says towards negative X. And if you check, this was the one that had the bias for. If we check here, it says towards negative Z. So as I was expecting, this is a negative bias. It could be a right side bias, but I got a distinct feeling it is a negative bias. Which means we need to increase the delay on this side, which allows this to extend. And that quickly extends, and then that one extends, allowing that to happen. But if they try to extend at the same time, that one, the game can't just run both of them at once. The way the code has to work means that it has to do them systematically, which means the code is going from negative to positive, which means this guy gets, when these ones are supposed to extend at the exact same time, this one is technically being extended first, and this one is being extended after because it's already reading that a block has been pushed to there that can't be pushed. So this one can't extend. The same thing is happening over here, which I believe these have too much delay on. I don't think that needed to be a piston button. See? It's happening there. But if I increase the delay on this guy... Yep, this doesn't need to be wood. It goes too slow. It can be stone. Wow. And then that happens. Apparently. It wasn't happening here. As you can see. So why is this? Must be the repeaters that are causing this problem. So maybe that needs to be... Yeah. Whoa. Then that's too much delay. Wow. Okay. This is some of the most confusing stuff that's ever happened. Yeah. As you can plainly see, redstone does weird stuff. So yeah, these repeaters aren't actually causing problems. Now this should work, but for some strange reason, these don't actually trigger these pistons. Which, of course, makes no sense. But what can you do? So this design, which would prevent these from interfering with the floor, for some strange reason, just doesn't work. I get the sense that these could work with the hopper-dropper monostables. As a matter of fact, let's test that out right now. So we're going to need dropper, hopper. We're going to need items to put in. We're going to use sticks. Each of them will go to stick. And we're going to need comparators and then that needs to be that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that is an interesting thing that happened there. This might cause some problems with repeater delay, potentially. Also, that doesn't need to be... Actually, there doesn't even need to be blocks there at this point, if you think about it. Okay. And then comparator. Now this, of course, is going to cause an error. And this, of course, needs to have an item in it. As you can see, I think what's happening is this hopper is getting locked. So we need to do that and do that. Those are not enough to power these guys. Yeah, this is when you want those PE mechanics of it connecting to anything that gets powered by redstone, not just to other dusts and repeaters and torches, not to just sources and repeaters. You want it to be anyway. This would work to prevent it from interfering with the floor above it because there's no piston extending upwards. But doesn't seem to work properly. So input needs to be extended back by a few blocks. That's all right. Yeah, we can pick that up from the ground there. Just need to get myself my button back. That way we can have the redstone dust running directly into the back of this, which should work. But as we saw with the repeater, it for some strange reason just wasn't working the way it normally should be. But anyway, with the piston earlier, yeah, it's the delay of the piston thing here. It's not quite doing the same sort of thing. If we increase the delay on there. Yeah, this does cause issues. So this design, actually, surprisingly, doesn't work. It's weird how that happens. It's just like, this design should work, and then it turns out it doesn't. And, yep. So then you're just like, oh, well, that actually didn't work. And you're just like, what do we do now? It's like, no idea. Anyway, those can be redstone dots again, which for some strange reason are the only things that will power the pistons. But when we try to make it so that it does do redstone dots in a case where redstone dots aren't actually happening, it causes errors. Of course, naturally. See, this is honestly quite a weird system. This does appear to be the only system that truly works because it's an instant monostable. But these pistons extend upwards, which causes a problem if the floor is right here. Of course. As you can see here, this is what we've done here, but it's required more delay for this guy so that this actually works, and it required this happening here. So this is kind of prevented for these from messing with the floor, but that does naturally make this pretty complicated. This is a much simpler thing, but it interferes with the floor. This, much simpler thing, but for some strange reason, these aren't even powering these pistons. I actually want to try something. If we put that there, will the piston extend? No. This is really weird. Yeah. And that's where we want the piston to be, but this is where the redstone line is. Yeah. All we're really getting is that thing de-extending. It's weird. We know that won't power it, unless somehow it does for some reason. The way redstone is coded in Minecraft is one of the most ridiculously confusing things of all time. And naturally, if I try to put a repeater over here, that causes issues. I mean, it's like, come on. How on earth is this circuit supposed to work? The answer is, yeah, it doesn't. Like, well, that was interesting. Um, hang on. Why is that a sticky piston there? Okay, let's put, yeah. So, this northwest bias does force us to do a little something to do this, but then you just like, Hang on, did I just hit? No, I did not. I thought I accidentally hit caps lock there. Let's clear the chat. So there is a northwest bias that happens, which is unavoidable. Minecraft can't be coded in another way. They see, and then there's that. Let me put that on there, and that can't extend before that guy's done extending. Maybe if we added the delay onto there. Yeah, see, that doesn't work. If we added delay onto there, see, it won't work. It just doesn't for some reason. And then we put these back in place like that. Those won't extend for some reason. Why? Do you want block for do you want powered block next to you rather than powered dust next to you to extend properly? Is that what you want? Because that makes absolutely no sense. Let's face it, it doesn't. And the next question, of course, is how does this guy extend? And of course, this isn't doing things right. It's like, but how? How? It's like, how about we... It's like, how about we do this? It's like, how does this even work? How would this whole system even work? Do you want a repeater here? Because does that... What needs to happen? It's like, come on. Does that work? So all of a sudden. Nope. But as soon as I do that, this will happen. It's like, we can't make it so that these don't interfere with the floor. It's like, I don't get it. I don't. I seriously don't. Like, can we put it back here? Does this work like this? Imagine it did. Nope. These redstone dots can't... I want to know if this will actually work. If this works, I'm just going to go... How does that even work? If we put... No. No. No way can this... What? I'm done with redstone. Just... the thing is, we could put the sticky piston here, and somehow, what I've done here is I've compacted this a little bit. I've put the input even closer. What? Granted, these are a bit higher, so which means we want this to be a bit higher. But this should work now. And then it doesn't. Somehow doesn't. Every time. The repeater over there. Repeater right here works. Repeater over there doesn't work. And somehow we can do something like that. And... But somehow... Okay, placing... Okay, placing redstone dust on top of pistons apparently is a thing that can happen now, but apparently it just doesn't work properly. So that way works, but that back the other way doesn't work. Maybe we need to. Maybe it's this guy that needs. And then somehow, just what? What do you want me to do? It doesn't make any sense. There's something that senses... There isn't anything that will sense when this block is here, unless maybe... Hang on. No, that would power that. That would power that. We don't want it to. Because if we could set something up which senses if a block is there... This would prevent it from extending, but I don't know how we'd do that. I'm trying to figure this out, and it's causing my brain to just... Okay, so somehow we've managed to sense when that block is there, but that has broken this? Um... Great. Now it's stuck powered because of bud mechanics. See what I mean when I say that this makes absolutely no sense? See, Minecraft and Redstone, you're just going along just fine, trying to do something, and then suddenly you're encountered by a problem such as this. And there's just this... Or that will be fine. But that doesn't work the other way. But somehow with this, with me I don't understand why this happens the way this happens. It's just like... I don't know. I just give up. I just give up, man. Like, how do you work? And it's like... So... It's really... This guy works, but then these guys get in the way. And it's like, great. It's nice, but then But... I can't just... The pop through the floor is the problem that's happening here. Perhaps this would work with a double piston extender? Potentially. But I honestly just can't remember how a vertical double piston extender works. So it's like, you gotta extend the bottom guy first, and then you gotta extend the top guy second. But then how do you... Then, yeah, okay. This looks like a good design that could happen. And then we put, what, a lever... Well, I'm just confused now. Did this redstone dot not work on this guy? Oh, no, because that guy's powering that guy. I just... What? That's just nice. Okay, so maybe we arrange this a bit differently. It's like block there, block there. That extends first, so that extends... Okay. And that... And then, yeah, that would be the thing. And then reverse would be that, that, and then that. But how would we hook all these inputs up to each other? Is it possible to? Probably not. Okay. So that works, but this guy never gets power. I get oh man. It's like but then this guy just doesn't do anything. This doesn't need to exist anymore. So we could power that first and then power this, and then that would depower so that could do its thing. But that guy's is that even guy even Oh, I see what's it's Bud powered. So you're like, wait, so what actually is supposed to be powered where and how? See, this is the fun part of working with vertical piston extenders. Bud powering. And we can only power this from one side due to the context we want to use it in. Yeah. This video is meant to illustrate the challenges of working with pistons in Minecraft. Like, okay, extend that, and that will be powered. That gets depowered, See, does that need to be an observer block? Why would that need to be an observer block? That's just like the dumbest. That's literally so dumb because that's the only way this would work. And that needs to happen like that. And that needs to happen like that. And that. Yeah. That's how it needs to work. It's like, why? Get back there. So that would work like that. And then that works like that. But no, of course it. Bud power's the thing. And it's just like, how does this work? And it's like, it doesn't. That's the thing. It's like, how do people build vertical piston extenders, which only have one side for inputs? Like, how? It's like, yeah, you gotta extend that, and you gotta extend that, and you gotta de-extend, and on a de-extension, you gotta de-extend that, and you got flip that. It's like, that can be done with an observer. But then Bud powering on top. And it's like, also, that's a lighting glitch if I've ever seen one. So it's like, okay. Okay. Well, you stop that. All right. No, why do you have to do something like that? Maybe that's better. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Nope. But then naturally, of course. But then naturally, of course. Of course. Why would this be easy? It's like, you're just looking at this and you're just like, It's like, oh, wow. But naturally, this guy. How does that guy depower before this guy? It doesn't make sense! Like, it doesn't make sense to do that. Oh. Because it's... The hell is wrong with this thing? It's like... It's like... What is wrong with you? It just doesn't work properly. This is the thing. Bud powering this guy to do that, which doesn't make any sense. Okay. But we need this guy to power first, but I don't get you sometimes. The hell? I really gotta figure out how to disable the Windows button on this thing. So it's like, how does we want to do this? How does we want to do this? Like this? Will this work? Believe it or not, it probably actually will work this way. With this... It's stupid. So bloody stupid. It's like, why? Will you stop doing that, you piece of... Anyway. Now this should avoid the... But somehow, these both de-extend at the same time. It's like... Okay. Yes! See, there we go. Vertical piston extender. But it's like, you have to monkey around with the delays on repeaters so much to get this to work. And then in here, yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at this. But yeah, shut up, phone. I don't care what you have to say right now. You're just annoying, as usual. So this should work somehow if we manage to put a double piston extender in here. So that's the torch that does the initial powering, which somehow requires a repeater for some dumb reason. It's going to require a repeater and put it into this. And it's like, oh, great. It's like, oh, great. What did we got ourselves into? It's like, oh, it's dumb. It's like, oh, well, now this guy can't be powered. It's like, It's like, well, now this guy can't be powered. It's like, It's like, so we need that like that. And then we need it further along like this. It's like, how dumb is that? It's like, pretty dumb. See, this is what you need to do to get this to even de-extend, to get that. And there's that, and then you need that, and then that, up like that. Actually, no, that's the repeater on 4 ticks of delay. That's our observer over there, and this is our 3 blocks, and then you just realize it's like, this is not a compact design at all. It's like, no, it's not. Even though, due to some stupid bugs, it should be a lot. And this is because of some stupid bugs. It's not this compact. It's like, It can be so much more compact. So much more compact. And it's like, but it isn't. It's like, ah, there we go. Now let's, on de-extension, it's like, how much delay we're going to need there to get the thing working. It's like, oh, yay, all the way over here is where we gonna have to do the block swapping. It's like, yeah, pretty much. It's like, so dumb. And these probably aren't going to be enough delay for this to work even. Probably going to just break horribly. Oh, man. It's just going to... Somehow this might act, and then somehow this works. Like, watch. Somehow this... But somehow, now the pistons aren't extending, even though they should be extending. Okay, I just want to know a few things. Okay, piston powered by redstone dot from all sides. Are there glitches that prevent pistons from being powered by redstone dots on specific sides now? Like, when the... Okay. 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 Let's mess with all facing directions of pistons. That, of course, doesn't power it, as it shouldn't. That, of course, does. That, of course, does. And that, of course, does. But even one tick, it seems to just... Okay. How about a piston facing this way? This side, of course, does not power it. I don't get it. Yeah, that doesn't power it. You see what it's like trying to work with redstone constantly? It's like, how are these not getting powered? It's like, I mean, sure, yes, these can use more delay. But to not get powered at all. It's like, shouldn't this be getting powered? It's like, yes, it should. Like, watch this. Okay, does this power... No, it doesn't. Why? This powers the piston over here. See? Why? Is there some block update type mechanic happening here? It's just... Oh, man, this is so frustrating. It's like, do you want repeaters running into you? Is that gonna work? And it's like, and it's like, great, now this is happening. It's like, and it's like, oh, well, now this broke. Probably because it didn't have enough delay or something. Alright. And that just happened. It's just like, great. Why does things break like this? It's like, great, and now it's biasing that side somehow. It's like, how is it biasing that side? Let's do that. It's just not even. And then when this happens, so that that works, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like, nah, that's just too late of a delay. It's like, It's like, do we have to manually go in? Because that would be somehow that happens, and it's like, why? And then that happens due to the see. It's like this works fine, but then it messes with the floor. This is not mess with the floor. It's designed specifically for that, but man. It's like you had one job. Your job is, and now I'm breaking the one I want to keep around because that's the. Anyway. See, this guy works somehow. See, this works, but messes with the. See, this works, but these guys mess with the floor. Like, yes, we have to deal with this slight negative bias type thing that's happening. But then when you try to adjust it so it works with the floor, this is what you have to have. It takes forever for that to re-extend. It's like dual-edged. But then there's that. And it's like, why so complicated? And this is just so that we have the pistons extending at the. But then this has to. I know for a fact that I can make it so that it's actually just doing this based on repeater functions. But come on. Okay. If we want to see if we can do this, because this thing taking forever to re-extend is a real pain in the butt. Okay, so we got an extra 4 ticks. Okay, that works. That works fine. And we can move this, and this has to be this far back, otherwise we'll mess with this and this won't. Yeah. But then it's like, but why? Why you gotta be this way? Like this way, these guys aren't messing with the floor. We can just build floor over this, and it's just like, and whatever. Like, nothing is on the floor. And then we can go here, put a redstone dust there. We can grab a lever because apparently I just broke the thing. Also, it's this one. We can put that on the floor there. It's like, yes, it works fine, but it's huge. It's so huge that the input's all the way over here. It's like, this guy's nice and compact, but screws with the floor. It's like, and the reason for that is because one of them needs to be rising edge, one needs to be falling edge, and because of that, we gotta use a lever, and because of that, we gotta have this. I mean, sure, if we wanted a button, if we input so badly, we could do Like, and this is the nice thing. So if you, this won't allow you to fall through it, which is nice, but still, it's such a pain in the butt. Yeah, well, let's go do something soothing, like mess with the redstone contraptions that aren't completely frustrating, like this guy. Like, oh, look at that. It just drops down one and then gets pulled out of the way. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful little design. Look at this. Look at this. Just gotta give this guy a little bit more delay than this guy and it'll work. This guy, I mean, it's huge, but it was experiment. That guy is something that should be really simple. And then this guy happens like this. And then look at this guy. It's this the system. And if you want to stop it, you just have to power this. So if this guy does something, it doesn't really cause these observers to be updated. And then that happens. It's so nice. And it can go back and forth. Look at that. This guy works so nice. I was able to decorate it so it looks so beautiful. And it's like, oh yeah. And then the arrows like this just look pretty cool. And sure, we had to have like a little bit of redstone. And it's like, and you see that working like that, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And you just like see the little bit of mechanics, and it's like, this looks nice. Heck, you could even do a thing with multiple floors where you set it to be where one button or both buttons would cause this to de-extend, but one of them would trigger. I gotta actually get in the shaft to see what I'm talking about. But one of them would trigger the top observer, and one of them would trigger the bottom observer. And it's all, yeah, that's exactly what happens. If you want to, you can just, like, if the piston's not, you can have set up doors that the elevator's not there, the doors can't open. It's like, yeah, you can do that. You can set this to be multi-floored if you wanted to. I mean, it's huge. I'm pretty sure this could be compacted. Looking at it, yeah, it probably could be. Like, let's actually compact it right now. Like, what do we need? We need that happening like that. And then that just happened. But then we need it to be raised up off the ground a bit. So I don't know why I did that. It's like, and it's like that. And it's just like, would this work? Potentially, it probably actually would. It's like, will this work? Answer is no, apparently. Apparently that transparent piston glitch happened again. But it's like, will this work? Yes, it will. It will. Like, there's the problem. There. And it's like, whereas this was like 4 high, this seems to be 3 high. It should work. Like, look at that. That works. I'm trying to... There we go. I get pushed off naturally. And now I need obsidian. Need obsidian. Well, that piston flying machine has escaped from me. But yeah, as you can see, I've made it a bit more compact. I had like an extra slime block. That guy's just gone now. Bye. He's eventually just going to hit 256 and he's just going to stop moving. Holy cow, that looks so cool. But it's like, yeah, this is simple. And then that, I just don't get. That's just funny. But slime block flying machines are simple. That is just too funny. This is simple. I mean, come on. You got that, that, and that. It's just like, yes, there's a lever that switches the water on and off. This right here is a T flip-flop. And if you want to do a T flip-flop for this, it's much simpler. You just need a button directly onto this. This is a triple piston extender. Yes, it's big. It can't be smaller. Probably actually made smaller. Can be. But fact is, it's a thing. This guy, oh man, it is literally this simple. Look at this. This is redstone and the pistons are all the stuff underneath. All the proper redstone is the stuff happening on top of here. That guy, so simple. And then this guy, it's just like, it's huge! Like, can't this be any smaller? I mean, yes, I managed to get it so it's got no delay on the thing, but can't it be smaller? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, please press the like button, share it if you liked it, and subscribe to the content, and be sure to every day. Bye-bye!